let's talk about investing. For a lot of people, that word can feel, well, kind of intimidating, right? It brings up all this imagery of confusing charts and numbers, and it's easy to feel like you're on the outside looking in. If you've ever felt like you need a secret password just to join the conversation, trust me, you are not alone. And chances are you're being totally bombarded with advice from everywhere. You've got the gurus on social media, endless articles online, maybe even that one uncle at family get-togethers who suddenly becomes a stock market genius. It's just a constant storm of conflicting information, and honestly, it can leave you more confused than when you started. But what if we could just clear all that away? What if there was a simple, clear roadmap to follow? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do right now. We're going to cut through all that noise and build a straightforward, 5-step plan to get you on the right path for the long haul. Okay, first things first, before you invest a single dollar, before we get to the exciting part, we have to build a solid foundation. You wouldn't launch a rocket from a shaky platform, and your financial future is no different. It all starts with a strong base. So this foundation has two absolutely critical parts. Part one, your emergency fund. Think of this as your financial safety net, your shock absorber for life. We're talking 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses, just sitting in a savings account where you can get to it easily. This is what protects your investments when life throws you a curveball. And part two, we need to declare war on high interest debt. And this number right here, this is exactly why. The average credit card interest rate is over 20%. Trying to out-earn that in the stock market is like trying to run a race with an anchor tied to your leg. You're just not going to win. Any gains you make from investing will just get eaten alive by those interest payments. So paying that debt off isn't just a good idea, it's the most powerful, guaranteed investment you can make. All right, with that foundation in place, now we can get to the fun stuff. Let's talk about where you should put your first investment dollar. And believe me, this is the easiest, most incredible win you will ever find. If your job offers a 401k match, this is your number one priority, period. It is exactly what it sounds like. It's free money. For every dollar you contribute, your employer contributes one too, up to a certain point. Just think about that for a second. That is an immediate, guaranteed 100% return on your money before it's even had a chance to grow. You will never, ever find a better deal than that. Not taking the full match is literally just walking away from free cash. So once you're getting that free money, it's time to talk about your secret weapon. And it's not about being a genius stock picker, and it's not about having a ton of money to start with. The most powerful asset you have is simply time. Because of this incredible force called compounding, starting early isn't just a small advantage, it is your superpower. So let me show you what I mean. Let's meet Sarah and John. Sarah gets going early. She starts investing just $250 a month when she's 25. John does the exact same thing. Same amount of money, same 8% return, but he just waits a decade and starts at 35. Now, they both invest that same amount every single month until they turn 65. So that 10-year head start that Sarah has, how much of a difference could that really make in the long run? Well, by the time Sarah hits retirement at 65, she has over $777,000. That is the magic of compounding. Her money didn't just grow. The money her money earned started earning its own money. It creates this incredible snowball effect that just gets bigger and bigger over those 40 years. And what about John? Well, he ends up with just under $340,000, which, hey, that's not bad at all. But look at that difference. Sarah has more than double his amount. And the only thing she did differently was give her money 10 extra years to work. This is why you always hear that old saying. It's not about timing the market, it's about time in the market. Okay, so we know we have to start early, but the big question is always, what do I actually invest in? And the good news is, the answer is surprisingly simple. You really don't need to be a Wall Street whiz. Actually, the most effective strategy is often the simplest one. So let's talk about mastering the set it and forget it approach. So first, meet your new best friend, the index fund. Instead of stressing about picking the one perfect winning stock, an index fund lets you buy a tiny piece of the whole market, like, say, the 500 biggest companies in America, all in one single low-cost purchase. It gives you instant diversification, which spreads out your risk, and you don't have to do any of the guesswork. And hey, don't just take it from me. Listen to this guy. Warren Buffett, probably the most successful investor of all time, has said this over and over again. If the Oracle of Omaha himself says this is the most sensible investment for most of us, well, I think that's a pretty fantastic endorsement. Now, the next rule is about how we invest. It's a strategy called dollar cost averaging. It sounds complicated, but it's super simple. It just means you invest the same amount of money on a regular schedule, like every 2 weeks when you get paid. When the market is down, your fixed amount buys more shares. When the market is up, it buys fewer. Over time, this just smooths out all the bumps in the road, and most importantly, it takes all the emotion out of investing. And you know the best part about this whole strategy? You can put it on complete autopilot. You just set up automatic contributions from your bank account to your investment account. It happens in the background without you even having to think about it. You set it once and you forget it, and you let your money do the heavy lifting for you. Your future self will thank you, I promise. Now, this set it and forget it strategy is incredibly powerful, but it doesn't mean you have to go it completely alone. Even the best pilots have a co-pilot, and it's always smart to know what your options are for getting a little help on your journey. So let's look at who can sit in the cockpit with you. You've pretty much got three main paths here. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, online brokers are amazing. They give you all the tools and research you need. If you'd rather have someone else manage the day-to-day stuff for you, robo-advisors are a fantastic low-cost option that will build and manage a portfolio for you automatically. And if your situation is a bit more complex or you just want that human guidance, a real-life financial advisor can be a game changer for your overall financial plan. So there you have it, a clear roadmap to take you from feeling overwhelmed to feeling in control, from building a solid foundation to putting your future on autopilot. They say every great journey starts with a single step. So the only question left is, what's your first step going to be?